Pratibha ji. Lalesh, can you let in the guest, please? Okay, Pratibha ji, 1 minute, I'll call you. Good morning, Pratibha ji. How are you?
Good morning. Can you see lights and everything?
Yeah, it's fine now. Everything
Is it fine? Is it fine? Okay.
Yeah, if you can adjust same to my height, that would be good.
Is it
height? Yeah, I think you're perfect. You're perfect. That's
the height is perfect?
Yeah.
And the light?
Around the same. Yeah, that's true. That's good.
Right.
That's good.
I've created different screens on a different setup. So this proves better in that.
Lalesh, ready? It's already 9 o'clock. Okay. One minute, Pratibha ji. I think we are almost ready to start. Pratibha ji, are you ready?
I am.
Okay.
Yep. Can you check the lights? If the light is coming okay in my face?
Yeah, it's good. Now I could see it's good. It's
good.
Now the lights are improving. It can be, yeah, perfect. Ready, huh? Lalesh?
Or do you want me to introduce like namaste, good morning, English, whatever? You just let me know.
Yeah, you can say namaste and in English too. That's fine. Okay. I'll first say about you and what is our show, and then introduce you, and then I'll go detail about you, and then we'll get started into the program.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. We are already 2 minutes late, Lalesh. How is your day, Pratibha ji?
Day is good.
Good. Okay.
After the this session is done, then I'll tell you exactly what the thing goes behind, right? So, yeah.
So it looks busy today. The day looks busy.
7 to 11, cleaning person comes in, so I have to work with that person. So that's what I was saying. 11:15, I would be definitely, connecting with you. So I connected with you 11:20. So. My husband is in St. Louis. My son is in Dallas. My daughter is in Toledo. So everything is just on my shoulders, which is good.
Lalesh. Ready. Ready, sir. 30 seconds. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, na? 9 seconds. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Welcome to Mana TV TV5. You are watching Insight with Praveen Puram live from Atlanta. Today, our esteemed guest is Pratibha Phadke Gupta. She is in PhD research, and welcome Pratibhaji to the show.
You.
And today, thank you so much for coming, for joining us, and giving us more insight on today's topic about importance of vitamin in our daily life. Right. So, welcome to the show, Pratibhaji.
Thank you so much. Thank you and welcome and namaste. And also, thank you, Mr. Raviji, for inviting me for this special occasion. And thank you for Mana TV for inviting me as a guest. I'm very proud of that. And, I'm very ready to start off this topic called importance of vitamin.
Awesome.
So I will be ready to have any questions, and I'm going to start my presentation. Thank you.
Sure, Pratibhaji. Let me introduce Pratibhaji to the audience and our viewers of TV5 on Mana TV. So, Insight with Praveen Puram has been bringing great people, great leaders onto this show exclusively for NRIs to benefit in their day-to-day life. It might be professional, it might be personal, it might be health, it might be anything in their entrepreneurship. So continuously we were watching on the entrepreneurship shows. Today we have Dr. Pratibhaji. Let me introduce her in detail. Dr. Pratibha Gupta is a PhD in biochemistry, research associate professor in Dayton, Ohio. She's also a research associate in human health and performance, food, nutrition, and health. She's an active member of many Asian Indian cultural organizations. Board member for Hindu Temple of Dayton, Ohio. Whoever is in Dayton, Ohio, definitely you might be knowing Dr. Pratibhaji. President of India Club, she is a passionate and a great supporter of Indian native languages, dance and music. She is an author of a book which is a collection of Hindi poems, ghazals and songs. The name of the book is Shekhar Ka Safar. She is a lyricist and writes songs, ghazals which are about to be released. Oh my God, she has multi-talented Pratibhaji. And recently, she's also producing Baitak, which is culturally yours. And Pratibhaji has multiple talents, and also she encourages dancing, singing, and across the Indian and also in the Asian countries as well. So anyone who has definitely a good skills, so Pratibhaji can help us to facilitate bringing their talent onto the TV. So thank you again, Pratibhaji, for giving your time and explaining today's topic on vitamins. So tell us if we have missed anything about yourself so that we can straight away get it started.
Well, this is basically, of course, I know that I'm mainly more cancer immunology. I have a lot of the research done in cancer in my PhD time. And also now I'm more into prevention, The disease can happen anytime. You all know that. If you consider disease pattern today, 30 years ago was different, and today we have different. For example, cardiovascular, your cancer, your diabetes, and obesity, all these diseases are like, spreading like anything, if you can see that. And so research is done in most of the doctors and physicians, and also researchers are working on the research. But at the same time, bodies are ours. We have to maintain our body ourselves. So information is available everywhere. If you pick up the magazine, if you pick up the worldwide, blogs or news channels or, YouTube, you'll see millions of people have posted those information. But after all, health is yours. It's in your hand. Information is enough, but our health is in our own hand. That is what I'm here, Mr. Ravi, today I'm going to be talking to just like a layman's language, nothing very specific, very scientific, but just a daily routine and how you maintain your health with your information. And also, I'm going to be thankful to Mana TV to take this initiative of providing some health related initiative, which is coming through your channel. And many of the channels do different things, but I think your success would be based on your performance in this show. So we will know that how people are getting impacted. And I would definitely, if there is an audience here, they can also send questions to you and we can answer the question. Back to you, Mr. Raviji.
Praveen sorry.
Praveen ji.
Thank you, Pratibha ji. You have rightly said there is a lot of content across everywhere, but how do we digest is very, very important. So we have been very, very busy. If you see now, everyone is busy in their WhatsApp life or mobile life or everything. So we all know that we have to be healthy. To be healthy, exercising is important, and prevention is important. And health check every year is also important. Most of us do at US, in India too, now that is coming up. So tell us more about what is the role of a vitamin and how frequently we have to check this, and throw some light on this, how to make it happen in our daily lives.
To answer this question, I'm going to start with one thing very important, that, for example, your personal health maintenance. Now we do maintain our home, right? We clean up our home every day or our weekly basis. We maintain a lot of things like that. So to encompass the many facets of personal health maintenance, so a lot of people provide information, for example, like allopathic, holistic, or homeopathic, or naturopathic, or orthomolecular, or for example, some of the research scientists have a folk healers, and herbalists and nutritionists, dietitians, reflexologists, and all those acupressure therapies, all these things are there, right? So these are available for all of us, and you choose and pick based on your lifestyle. The lifestyle is basically based on what you are doing at this time. For example, if you're a construction worker, your lifestyle will be different. And if you're a doctor or an engineer, your lifestyle is different. If you're sitting on a table and chair for several hours of the day, your lifestyle is different. So ideally, if you see, in my opinion, the nutrition and diets are based on generic version. But in my opinion, nutrition and diets should be based on your personal lifestyle. For example, if I'm 5'2" tall, my lifestyle is totally different. My food consumption and my food intake, or anything I take, such as water intake, will be different than a sports athlete who is 6 feet tall, right? So I have to make our audience understand. First of all, you have to check your lifestyle, what your lifestyle is all about. How many hours do you do activities? How many hours do you sleep? Based on that, you can organize your lifestyle. Now, so lifestyle basically is under your control, correct? So nutrition and nutrition information is generic to every one of them. If you pick up any of the books, nutrition will never tell you that this nutrition is for this population or this person or this height or this weight, right? Now, if you see, as an NRI, I was born and brought up in North India. Even if you take considerations of entire India, if you take east, west, north, and south, their food habits are different. Their, in fact, pattern is different. Their lifestyle is different. Their weather is different. Everything is different. But how could you have nutrition generic for every one of them? So my answer to your question is that, Mr. Puramji, is that based on lifestyle, you choose what is your actual lifestyle, and then you suggest and you design, basically customize your plan of action in that area. Back to you again.
Wow. That's very well said, Pratibha ji. I didn't know that you need to also consider your lifestyle. I thought everyone have to have certain vitamins, certain food habits, certain nutrients. But it's very interesting to know from you that we need to understand our lifestyle. So tell us more about, how do we need to find? Are there anyone who can guide us? Because a normal person doesn't know all those stuff. So how do you tell us? How do you tell us to observe us and follow the nutrients? Is there
Certainly,
any way?
absolutely. I believe that First of all, every day you have a daily routine. Am I correct? What
Yes.
time you wake up in the morning, what time you go to work, and are you working online or you're working on a physical location, your driving distance, and your sleeping time, your waking up time. So all these inclusive of that. And when do you eat and what do you eat? If you're diabetic, you're eating different. If you're cardiovascular health conditions, you're eating different. If you're a normal person, and I would say, Mr. Puranji, is, in my opinion, there is nobody at this time who is completely normal and natural or completely disease-free. Even if you're not, you are stressed. You all have stress, and stress cannot be identified by physical, expressions. It is already internal, because stress can create a lot of disease as well. So, for example, first of all, when you have your lifestyle based on what lifestyle you have, and then you organize. For example, some of the moms who stay home, right? They don't go out for work, but they're still at home, but they still have a lot of things to do, correct? They're also stressed. People who are doctors, people who are physicians, people who are construction workers, people who are working in a garden, or they're working in a store, they're standing on their feet for several hours. So human body is designed based on your lifestyle as well. And in human body is very forgiving. The way you treat the body will respond to you. Now, aging factor comes into that action as well. For example, let's say, for example, if you're 30 years old and your lifestyle is full of stress, definitely you will have diabetes, obesity, cardiovascular. But what if you are 60 and plus years old and your lifestyle is completely balanced? You will look better, correct? So there's no basically coordination with that. So in my opinion, first of all, we have to identify what your lifestyle is all about. Now, I've seen a lot of women who call me and tell me that my lifestyle is, of course, very, very calculated, and I feel happy about it. You know why? Because I'm very organized in a way. I plan my day every day. What I'm eating, what day I'm eating, what time I'm eating, so I don't have any stress. So I don't have to reinvent the wheel every single day. What do I cook today? Because I already know what exactly is planned by. So if you are an audience listening to me, first of all, make your schedule on daily basis. Weekly basis is also good, so that you don't stress what to cook, what not to cook, and what to eat, what not to eat. Such as, for example, I would say that, a lot of women, they get tired, they get body aches, and body, systems are very, very, strange. And sometimes they're like complaining about the headaches, right? They say, well, I've been having headaches since long. I would suggest, take some vitamins or take some sort of help to yourself instead of complaining, because your whole day will go very, very wasteful, correct? So if you have any symptom, for example, your body's aching, you need to check. You need to check vitamin D content in your body and magnesium. If your body has a lot of muscle pains, muscle, kind of like a toughness or stiffness, you definitely know that your body is needing some magnesium and calcium and vitamin D. And if your knees are hurting, of course, I can tell you that a lot of people will say, if you grow older, you will have a knee pain. In my opinion, if you don't maintain yourself, you will have a knee pain, which means if you're a 20-year-old playing tennis, and if you don't have a cartilage in your knees, you will have a pain. You will have a surgery. That is why a lot of sports athletes, they do have your knee surgeries, right? Because they don't have cartilage in your body. The cartilage is basically, it's a glue material to maintain and to sew together your bone structure. Now, for example, your shoulders, and when you're playing racket tennis or things like that, you're actually consuming your cartilage from all the joints flour. So you need to incorporate glucosamine in your diets, right? So, and again, then you will ask me this question, where do I find glucosamine? You need to find the foods which are good in glucosamine. For example, you may not like mushrooms, correct? But mushrooms are great for vitamin D composition and also incorporation of calcium and magnesium. But if you don't do the diets, definitely you will have knee surgery. So you have to imagine yourself, would you like to go to an orthopedic surgery, or you would like to make a change in your lifestyle, which is easier for you, right? And also daily lifestyle is very, very important in a sense, because if you don't maintain daily, body will tell you, exactly will tell you. Yeah. For example, let's say you have, some injuries, correct? And you're having tough time injuries, correct? Now for injuries, what kind of injuries? If you're bleeding, or if you have, like, for example, coughing and cold or something like that, if you see a pattern of you being sick on a regular basis, you need to check. what it means. Vitamin C is basically, it is for your immune system. It's an immune system enhancer. And a lot of people say, well, zinc, correct? Zinc, vitamin C, B complexes. And people say, I take B vitamin. So information is very limited in people's minds. And I would
Exactly.
recommend people to basically, to find out exactly, what exactly you want. For example, people say, well, I take B vitamin, but they don't know. There's a B1, B2, B5, B6, B12. All these vitamins are called B complex. And B complex will work only if you have everything all together, right? I'm going to give you an analogy, Mr. Puranji. For example, if you have to make a project of building a table, correct?
Yeah.
If you have to build a table, you need to have a tools, correct tools. You need to have
Yeah.
a wood. You need to have a game plan. You need to have a nails, and you have to put exact place the nails where to fix together, correct? So if you don't do, and if you don't have all the material at once, your project will go forever without completion. Body is just like that. So don't take it example for, oh, I take vitamins. No, you have to take daily. Daily in the sense, daily specific times. For example, vitamin C prevents your body from injuries, and it's a tissue regeneration. If you want to
Mhm.
look good, if your skin needs to be more better, you need to have a vitamin C in your daily diets. Vitamin C not only prevents you for injuries for your skin tissue regeneration, it also helps in your cardiovascular health. See, whole entire body is very well coordinated. Everything is needed on a regular time. And body will not tell you, body will tell you only with the symptoms. For example, I am not going to, go into too much deeper into, but I'm going to give you example. For example, if you're having headache on a consistent basis, people say, I have a migraine. My parents used to have migraine, right? My dad used to have, my mom used to have, so I will have it. See, none of the diseases are specified on a genetic genes. They are
Exactly.
all based on your daily habits. For example, if you have headaches on a regular basis, definitely you need B12 vitamin. Okay. B12 vitamin on a consistent basis for 3 months. Give your time at least 30 to 90 days. Okay. So body will get used to it as long as the micronutrients are going to transport into your body. Cellular basically metabolism is going to be identified by you, and you will know the difference. Now, the other question you had was when to take, what to take. Again, your bodies will tell you exactly. Today, how many people have seen you, such as, for example, Mr. Puranji, I need to ask you your lifestyle, since you are, very actively involved into all of these things, and I've always seen you happy, and I know your lifestyle is very hectic because you're IT consultant and IT, you have a lot of hats to wear, and I'm sure you have a family life as well, all the daily things. I have to ask you, you tell me your lifestyle. So based on lifestyle, maybe I can use you as an example and give you some suggestions. So people who are listening to us as an audience and can maybe get benefit out of that. And I think Mana TV will get more, influence in that as well. So Mr. Puranji, can you please give me your lifestyle?
So thank you, Pratibhaji. You have rightly said. So let me give my lifestyle to you. I start my day at 6:30, and have some water, and have a 20 minutes, at least 20 to 30 minutes walk, and have some few calls, and then start my day with my IT job. And probably at around 3 o'clock, I take a break, and have some walk along with my kid, have some time with her to play, and then come back again. Night shift starts from almost 6 o'clock to, I can say, 11:30, and I just have some time 3:11:30, and I sleep by 12 o'clock, and again same routine, 6:37 I get up. So that's my hectic life. And in this, in between, on and off, there'll be calls, messages, and all those kinds of stuff. So definitely, as an IT guy, it will be a hectic job. But most of the time, I feel happy on Saturdays, Sundays, at least doing one show and helping some people in the community. So definitely, that's my lifestyle. So you tell me, what should I take here?
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Puram, for disclosing that to the audience of Mana TV and from your show. Good thing is that you forgot to mention about your food habits, right? You did mention about your lifestyle of your academic or work relationship with your, company or with your work relation, but you forgot about the nutrition part of that, right? So
So
would you specify that?
sure, sure. So I have been transforming myself on the food habits too. I have reduced almost 15 lbs of weight, and I've been very healthy now. And I've been constantly monitoring my vitamins too on a yearly basis. And my food is, especially in the morning, I have like around 9:30. I have my food, maybe a couple of paratas or upma or any um, uh, mostly paratas. In the afternoon, I'll have my lunch around 1:30.
Uh-huh.
Especially 1:30, I have some rice and curry and yogurt. Then in the evening, I started having 7:30. I'll have my 2 or 3 or 4 paratas, and that's all for me. And in between, I started having black coffee without milk. So at least one time black coffee, one time with lime. But that is pretty much the lifestyle about.
Thank you for sharing that to the audience of Mana TV. And excellent job. For example, I think your lifestyle is a little different than other people. People are running and rushing. And I'm sure by looking at your facial expression, I would say that you're very well relaxed, and which is a very good key for any of the human being, right? So as I mentioned previously, is that everybody's body is different. Your height, weight, your lifestyle, your working conditions, and everything is totally different. Some people drive 40 minutes, 50 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hour drive. And what are they doing? They're sitting in their cars for 2 hours. They don't anticipate that something can happen during that time as well, right? So ideally, if I have a lifestyle just like you, if you do say that, so I would definitely encourage you to lifestyle has different aspect of it. Body conditions, for example, your protein, fat, and carbohydrates needs to be added in your diet on a regular basis, on a very consistent basis based on your body style, body type, right? So protein, fat, and carbohydrates. Now, these are the major nutrients, major group of substance that body needs, because your cellular metabolism is based on that, right? How much and what are you incorporating in your diets, correct? Now, protein, fat, and carbohydrates are essential for you to sustain your lifestyle. In a why? Because each cellular metabolism, cellular membrane is made up of that. Now, protein, fat, carbohydrates. A lot of people get too much concerned about carbohydrates. Carbohydrates gives you instant energy, okay? And fats gives you highest amount of energy. And protein balances in between these two. So it means if you have all of these things in your diets, definitely you'll balance your life, correct? Yes. On the other side, it's called micronutrients, phytonutrients. These are the actual components that are necessary to digest these major groups of the food groups I told about, right? Protein, fat, and carbohydrate. You have a raw material, but you don't have a cutting tools to make these protein, fat, and carbohydrate to give you energy that is missing, right? So even if you're eating roti, dal, chawal, or anything, whatever the food you're eating, pasta or anything, if you don't have a cutting tools, the food is going to be wasted. Food is going to sit there in your body and will never give you energy, correct? A lot of people do say that I eat well, but I am still tired. Reason why? Because they don't have cutting tools to properly cut down the food at the right time to right places, such as if you're eating, if your diet is fruit based in the morning, definitely you have micronutrients, right? But ideally, not all of us eat one big bowl of fruits, which is necessary. 4 to 6 cups of whatever you need, it's not used. People don't use it. People are running, right? So people are not very organized in their diet pattern as well. So for you, let's say, for example, you're taking one daily vitamin is necessary in a daily, because most of the daily vitamins are good. Well, of course, I don't recommend everything. You need to check with your physicians or check your nutrition dietitians. And if you have any concern about that, you can always contact through Mr. Puramji. I can always give you suggestions based on that. Maybe you can, release my information later on at the end of this show. But so you will take daily vitamins, which has a lot of micronutrients. This should be organically grown, and it should have more solubility. And so that is the one. And vitamin C is needed for your, basically, it is also anti-stress too. Vitamin C and B complex. B complex, as I said, B1, B2, B5, B6, B12, all of these things work in a combination. It is also anti-stress. and it also maintains your nervous system. In nervous system, as you know, we all get nervous, we all have a lot of the consequences, right? So these things, these three vitamins I take without a break, and also iron supplement in between that. So iron is basically, if you know that men and women excrete iron content in their fecal material every single day. So people do not know that they're losing their iron content on a daily basis. So women loses the iron content during the menstrual cycle, and the men also lose that. So sometimes we don't know. Sometimes if you have a deficiency of iron, many of the women can see the body has more tiredness, because if there is no iron, there is no blood coordination, which means that I'm going to give you a very simple example of that. Iron is a main part of hemoglobin. Hemo means iron, globin means a protein. Hemoglobin is a kind of iron protein, and that iron protein is basically is essential for grabbing oxygen from the environment and from your body. So the four oxygen is going to be attached with the hemoglobin. So if you have iron deficiency, guess what will happen? Iron globulin hemoglobin will not be functional, and you'll be losing four molecule of oxygen. Guess what? You'll be feeling tired, and your body needs oxygen. And oxygen means oxygen is required to your brain, right? So you'll be tired, you'll be sleepy all day, you will never know. You'll say, well, I ate my all chapatis and rotis and khana, everything. But you know what? In reality, you did not do a right job, because iron is needed. And iron is also very essential, because not everybody eats spinach every day, correct? Am I correct? Not everybody eats meat every day, correct? So, and you cannot eat spinach every day, but body needs it. Body will tell you, body cellular metabolism will require. Now, every 90 days, you have a new cells forming. So to make a new cell forming, you need to have some building material as well, right? If you don't have iron, the new cell will be formed without having a good enough oxygen and good enough iron, right? Now, these are the things, correct? Now, so these are the thing I just gave you example of that, like a daily vitamin and vitamin C and B complex and iron tablets are good essential for the day to start, right? Around 10 o'clock or so. You'll be surprised when you take the daily routine. When you take a lunch, of course, lunch is perfectly fine, it's good. But evening time, you get tired again, correct? By the time, so you can actually have B complex one more at around 4 o'clock in the evening, so that you're 4 to 9 o'clock, your body is going to be active. And Mr. Puramji, I think because you work night shifts as well, so you will see body has given you opportunity to incorporate your all metabolical ingredients, which includes your micronutrients, your phytonutrients. That will give you more energy in the body. See, also in our professions, we cannot look tired, correct? Even though we have worked all day, we cannot say, well, I was working all day, so I'm not able to talk to you right now. But that is not a professional attire, correct? We cannot say that because of these reasons, I'm not able to connect with you and I'm feeling sleepy, things like that. You will appreciate what I was just talking to you all about. In the nighttime, you know that at age 40, you all know that at age 40, most of sports athletes, they probably take off, right? Their body will tell that, well, we're not going to work because of the conditions. And I tell you that, in my opinion, it may be a little bit controversial that body is not designed by age pattern. It's all decided by your mental thinking. That what age are you? If you mentally think you are 40 years of age, you definitely will act like that. If you think mentally you're age 60, you will act like that. If you reorganize your body, saying, well, I feel young and I look young and I am a young person, your body will give you mental thought process to process based on that. And guess what? You will see there are a lot of people, if you see, the example I can give you, Milkha Singh, right? Milkha Singh, I think he died at the age of 90 to 92, right? If you see his videos of 2-3 years before, prior to his death, you'll see he's dancing in some occasion. Now, can you all imagine people who are 90 years old, can they dance very well? Very rarely, right? Now, you also see a lot of people who are 40 years of age, they're also full of diseases, full of a lot of consequences. So basically, thinking is also important, and also taking care of your life, taking care of your well-being personally, because you're responsible for your health as well. And the nighttime, you can take that calcium, magnesium, and glucosamine. Okay, glucosamine basically it is a kind of supplement that is utilized for building block material for your calcium deposition.
Mm-hmm.
Now, glucosamine is also built up. It also is essential for cartilage building. Now, if you can see your backbone, and backbone is basically more like a, if you take a chain, okay, each bone, 33 plus bones in your spine, is connected like a brick on the top of each other, right? In between your bricks or the bones, you have some it's like a padding material. The padding material is basically called cartilage. The cartilage is built based on your intake of the food habits, calcium, magnesium, glucosamine. If your glucosamine is missing, you will have a cartilage problem. And if you have a cartilage problem, then cartilage will not be there. So your bone is not going to be completely stabilized. It's going to start wobbling. You probably see people have spine pain, right? People have a back pain, right? Because their spine is not properly aligned. So there is a disalignment of your bones and things like that. So if you are already taking ingredients based on your diets, what will happen? Your body is going to be aligned. Let's say if you fall down somewhere, body will repair back again because you already have material inside the body, right? So things like that. Now, so if you take calcium, magnesium, glucosamine in the night, before you sleep, that will have a repair problem solved because you're sleeping just like a cementing. When you cement anywhere, you have to make some process that do not touch. So cement can be fixed overnight, correct? That's how the process is all about. Now, another thing is that a lot of people don't know those three things, important. If Mana TV audience are listening to me and hearing me, is that, a lot of people have a brain's issue. Sometimes they get stressed, they have a tension, sometimes they don't sleep well, things like that. Now, I'm going to tell you two major important things called omega-3 and omega-6. Omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids are essential for nerve impulse in your brain. In your brain, you'll be very surprised, Praveenji, that brain is like a jello. Okay, you see our skull is protected by the bone structure, right? If you take the scenario of your brain inside, you will see it's so soft tissue. The tissue is so soft that it is like a jello. If you put the finger in the jello, what happens? Jello gets disturbed, right? Same thing here. So you can see the nature has made your brain protected. But one thing is that brain does not have any blood circulation that way. It is only into your skull, right? So internally in your brain, internal part of the brain, you will need good oxygen. Good oxygen means that your neurons and nerve cells are being protected. The neurons and nerve cells need only oxygen as well as all those ingredients that is called omega-3, omega-6, which can maintain your nervous problem, right? So I'm going to give you an example. I don't know whether people can go and look into it also. How many people know Albert Einstein?
Everyone
you
knows.
probably all, I'm sure, know. And he was considered as one of those noted brainy person, correct? He was an intellectual person. So it is going to be, very laughing material for you, all the audience like that, because the only person I know who was born on March 14 is Albert Einstein. And sometimes I joke because I was born on that day as well. And so I think, so he is my ideal. Basically, I follow all those things through him. And if you go Google it that way, his brain was studied after he dies. Okay. So the scientists were trying to find out how come he was so intelligent, so superpower in his brain. What was the reason? And, you will be surprised that his neurons, I'm going to give example. For example, if you see my arm like this here. So these are like dendrites. These are like axons, okay? And these are all connected. All the nerves and neurons are connected, interconnected entire your brain. If you have disconnection, even small little part of nerve cells or neurons, what happens? The connections of memory is lost. Wow. So to maintain the memory lost, you need to have intact. Now in his brain studies, there were the glial cells. The glial cells called glue cells. The glue cells are base cells where all the neurons were connected very well. Wow. That is why he was very, very brain person, right? So to connect all the neurons and nerves and all the things together, you need a big, good basic, lifestyle. And I'm not going to deep inside the lifestyle, Mr. Einstein, but there are lifestyle that we can maintain, which is in our hand. And for that, omega-3 and omega-6 are necessary for taking that on a regular basis, because each nerve cell has a nerve impulse, which is, it's like a current electricity passing around your brain, right? So at age 12, you're lacking into omega-6. Okay, omega-3, omega-6 need to be in the balance. Okay, so omega-3 is not being built in the body. Omega-6 is there, but to balance omega-3, omega-6, you need to have a balanced omega-3, right? So that way, what will happen? You will maintain your nervous power and nerve cells, right? So that can prevent your Alzheimer's, right? That can prevent also your forgetfulness, right? Sometimes we forget, correct? Now people say, well, I forgot my keys here, I forgot my this here. And people say, well, I have a problem with forgetting, it is not about that. Actually, sometimes the brain does not work well when you don't work well with your diets, right? Brain will tell you, brain will exactly tell you, but it will not tell you mentally, physically, it will show in the type of symptoms, right? You will probably see that, So, it is again a laughing material. A lot of people ask me this question: how do you remember things, right? So, how do you remember things? Like, for example, I used to teach a lot of classes, and people ask me this question: you're going for this class to this class, and how do you know which class you're to teach what, right? So, if your brain is very clean and in a clear, then you know that you can adapt right there. So, I hope I have given a generic example of our lifestyle. Okay, back to you, Mr. Puram.
I think you have touched everything. It was very clear. So, in the interest of time and the audience, why don't you tell us how many vitamins are there in our body, and what is the frequency of checking our vitamins in our body?
Okay, thank you. This is a very good question. There are two sets of vitamins that are called water-soluble vitamins and also fat-soluble vitamins. Now, water-soluble vitamins are supposed to be added in your diet on a daily basis. And these are vitamin B and vitamin C. Okay, so these are water-soluble vitamins. The fat-soluble vitamins are called A, D, E, and K. Vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E, and vitamin K. They can be stored in the body, but for temporarily, not permanently. Because if you do not incorporate in your daily diets, they will dissipate, right? They'll get depleted out from your diet as well, right? So vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E, and vitamin K, these are completely, they're stored in your body, in your lumen, in your alimentary canal and the body systems. But you need to incorporate on a daily basis as well. For example, vitamin A is basically good for your eyes, right? Right? Vitamin D is also good for your calcium, magnesium deposition, so you can function your bones well. Vitamin E also is good for your skin textures and other, blood content. And vitamin K is good for the blood clotting factor. Now, how many people know that if you are bleeding, if your vitamin K is not enough, you will probably continue to bleed, right? So if you have a vitamin K in your body, definitely you will prevent that. Vitamin B and vitamin C are also, they are called water-soluble vitamins, and these vitamins are needed to be incorporated in your diet. That is why we say eat your fruits and vegetables on a daily basis, because majority of the fruits and vegetables have B complexes to vitamin C, such as oranges, right? Oranges. Now, for example, I'm going to give you a very good example. If you're not eating oranges, and if you're eating fruits only, you can also incorporate called as the green and orange red peppers. These peppers have highest amount of vitamin C. Some people don't know that. Green pepper, red, orange peppers, they also have vitamin C. Not only they have vitamin C, but they also have a lot other phytonutrients, phytochemicals, and also fibers. So that is, so you can, if you're eating 8 to 6 oranges, that can compensate your one big green pepper, red pepper or bell pepper, right? And B complex is not physically present in every one of them. For example, red beets. Red beets is good in B12s, right? And for example, carrots, they are good in vitamin A. But again, you're not eating carrots every day, correct? You're not eating red beets every day. So instead of having a lot of confusions of the food habits, I think I recommend having a very good source of vitamins, which should be organically made, which should be from higher authentic companies, which has to be grown without the pesticides, which has to be grown in a way that does not loses their properties. Because if you see in the grocery store, there are a lot of vitamins which are chemically synthesized, and you need to know exactly. So that's how you need consultant or dietitians or some people who can guide you what is the best suitable for you, for your lifestyle, and also which is best. And then, in one of those shows, maybe later on, I can show the how to take care of your vitamins, how to test your vitamins, which are best. And I can show some demos, next few episodes when we have next time. And definitely, thank you so much for giving me opportunity, and thank you, Mana TV, for giving this episodes of on the vitamins. And I'm sure, the life is all about having information and apply. Correct? We cannot have books written on these things unless you apply for that, right? So I'm a daily bottom line person. Apply and have your life, enjoy life. And guess what? When you apply, when you do things, people around you will look at you, and they will also get empowered without you telling them. So, Mr. Puramji, I want to thank you for creating this episode, and I'm sure you probably will be creating more such as like that. And you are empowering the generic population based on your influence and your smile. Basically, I need to applaud for your being more kindness. And thank you so much for inviting me for this Mana TV show. And back to you. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Thank you so much, Pratibhaji. Because of your research on these and telling us all these things, it makes a difference. And definitely, as you said, we will go deep into what is the intake of water, what are the vitamins we need to focus on, how do we need to balance on each of the vitamins. So that is very, very important, because I don't see people when they go for annual health checkup. I would also definitely see what is the vitamin checkup we need to do, because I never knew that we need to check our vitamins. Until and unless we get a symptom, we don't go for a vitamin checkup. So we wanted to listen from you before we leave. We already crossed 30 minutes. So I just wanted to ask you, what will be a checkup time for vitamins? Every year or every quarter, or what do you suggest?
Well, I think what I could see that, first of all, again, as I said, the lifestyle. If you're stressed lifestyle, for example, if a physician, if you're a doctor and a physician, I'm sure their lifestyle is very, very hectic on a daily basis. You have to see a lot of patients, especially in COVID time, right? Now, also people who are in COVID, people who have had a lot of consequences based on that. So your body is basically tired, right? Because you may have a COVID infections, you have bodies a lot of infections. So testing your body's vitamin supplements, you should be checking at least once in a year. When you go to wellness check, I'm sure you probably have to specify that. Second thing also is that it's a good habits to keep profile of your own self as well. Logbook, basically, what do you eat on a daily basis, so you know your particular daily lifestyle, what you eat and what are you missing in there. And you know that if you're not eating red beets every day, you know that B12 is deficient, you definitely know that you'll have a headache, right? Things like that. If you're not eating vitamin D or mushrooms, you know that you may have some consequences based on it. So every year, I think we should get it checked and keep a profile. And I'm going to give you a last example of that. Vitamin D in this current time, when people were sitting in their homes indoors, they must be lacking vitamin D because you do not get in sunlights, right? Now, vitamin D will, if you're vitamin D, calcium, magnesium deficient, your body will have a lot of muscular pains, muscular aches, body tired, body lethargy will happen. Okay. So, and this can be checked by a doctor. It should be some little bit, it should be more than about 33, units basically of our vitamin D. And if it's not, then definitely you will have some consequences. So checking just like a blood profile, this should be also for your daily lifestyle checking. So we all want to live healthier, happier, and people around us. And also, Mr. Puramji, I can tell you that it is not about the health. It's all about we are responsible. We are parents, we are mothers, we are sisters, we are daughters, we are all, educators. We are responsible for people around us. If you are not healthier, we are not giving a right example for them. So be an example for yourself so people who are around you can take example of you. Thank you
Exactly.
again. Thank
Thank
you
you.
again for inviting me.
Pratibha ji. With that said, every one of you, please take some time for yourself, take care of yourself, have the vitamins, good diet, good exercise, and please feel free to reach out to us, purampraveen@gmail.com. If you have any questions, then I can hook up to Pratibha ji. And you will be seeing a lot of interesting programs. And keep watching Mana TV and TV5 on the show Insight with Praveen Puram. Thank you so much for your time, Pratibha ji. Have a wonderful day ahead. And thank you everyone for watching. Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Puramji, and thank you, Mana TV.
Thank you.